Hi, do you know there is more than 78% of the people are lacking in their communication skills? More than 58% of the people, in spite of the fact they're going and are getting the most valuable education, but they're not able to crack any interviews. More than 68% of the people are struggling when it comes to scalability from their business, when it comes to communication skills. Just because they lack communication skills, they're not able to scale their business. So communication skills is affecting not even a student or a self-employed or an employee. It's affecting everyone because it is now become the most important need in 21st century. Yes. Hi, my name is Atul. I have trained more than 5,000 plus students across India. When it comes to self-employment and scalability of the business, I've trained more than a lot of corporates as well. A lot of people are taking the training program of communication skills of mine and they're really getting a lot of results. But today I've come here to talk to you about the most important part, which is called as communication deficiency. Yes, it's a new concept that you must have heard. It's called communication deficiency. Of course, if you have let's take an example. You go to a doctor and there is less of hemoglobin in your body, or probably you have less of WBC in your body. So what happens is doctors will the reports will have a particular range, right? So more than 14 lakh, 15 lakh, or this is the particular count that you should have in your blood. The same thing happens when it comes to communication as well. First of all, you have to first understand that, are you a beginner, or you an intermediate learner, or you're an expert in communication? Okay, first understand that where exactly, what kind of expertise do you already have? Okay, and accept it. Okay, the most important lesson that I need to tell you is that people don't accept, and that's the biggest challenge. People don't accept. They think that just because they can speak fluent English, they're done for the day. No, in spite of the fact that you can speak fluent English, it has nothing to do with communication. Yes, because if you don't have communication skills and you just have the proficiency of language, it's not going to match. I have trained more than 5,000 and plus students. I've taken more than 1,000 interviews across mock interviews. I've helped a lot of students to overcome this kind of fear. In spite of the fact they have all the technical knowledge possible, they're not able to express themselves. Yes, it's a lot of problem happening in today's youth wherein they're not able to express themselves in detail. Okay, that's the reason why, in spite of the fact they have all the technical knowledge, they have all the degrees and classifications, they have all the they have taken over more than maximum marks they have got in particular subjects. When it looks to a curriculum, it looks very heavy, but when it comes to express their knowledge, it's a big problem, right? That's the reason why a lot of students come and ask that, why do you ask this question, tell me something about yourself. Yes, we ask this question to you is to know whether you can communicate or no. Okay, that is the only reason we ask you these kind of questions. But let me tell you, communication blueprint first format is to understand whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or expert. Because once you know your category of communication that you already have with you, it's easy for you to scale up and easy for you to progress. Now, there is a difference between personality development, learning language, speaking therapy, which is English for that matter, and communication. Okay, there are three different categories altogether. Let's understand more in detail when it comes to communication deficiency regarding to a student's perspective. Let's understand this from a student's perspective. First, they always have problems with the communication presentation skills. Presentation skills is one of the most renowned skills ever, because I remember there was a time when people used to present through transparencies. There was a huge machine they used to keep those transparency on, they used to present on the screen. But nowadays everything is freely available. You have PPTs and all that, you can put it on the projector and you can do that. But when it comes to expressing their knowledge, they really lack. Second is, students have this kind of problem which is called one word contact speaking. One word speaking is basically they need to just strike out a conversation with someone. Still, they lack a lot of it. A lot of students have this kind of fear in them that what will the other person think? Okay, that is the kind of fear they always have with them. I believe if you're a student watching this video, you can resonate what I'm talking to you right now, right? I have seen students, in spite of the fact of knowing the language as well, but they will hesitate to ask for a pen also, okay, from a girl. Especially, I've seen that in students because I don't know that they have this kind of fear in them, always tickling around it. What will the person think? Will I be able to speak? They will laugh at us and X, Y, Z. Lot of overthinking they do. A striking new conversations. More than 78 to 80% of the people, when it comes to students' life, okay, they really lack when it comes to striking a new conversation. Okay, they can ask questions related to the subject, related to the topics, related to studies, but when it comes to new conversations to open up, they really have a problem with it. Students also go through with this space called as impromptu speaking. Now, impromptu speaking is something like a suddenly one topic will become and you have to speak on, right? You'll get time more than 5 to 10 minutes to think of, and you have to just be prepared. These kind of things also happens in students' life. Time for correction, yes, in students' life, you have a lot of time to correct yourself. You can learn, you can apply, you can make mistakes, as many mistakes as possible. Guys, because the student life is such that you get these 3 years, 4 years of study to make mistakes and learn. Please try and understand that accept this 4 years or 3 years of your learning of making mistakes as a journey. But yes, if you make mistake, correct it, implement it, because you have a lot of time to progress, right? Because it is a time for you to learn. Okay, and once you start learning all this is very important for you to have a kind of importance that you have declared to yourself to learn, make mistakes, learn from it, correct it, and work on again and again. Make mistakes and learn. That's what I said in the implement part of it. Now, when it comes to student life, there are a lot of ways which you can improve. Now, what happens is when it comes to understanding something, students what will happen, they go on to YouTube, they go to Google, they go to and find some kind of mentors who's associated with some kind of professionalism, and they find a lot of gap to patch up, right? You need someone who understands students' psychology when it comes to making them understand something. Yes, it is very important. So students, if you're watching this particular video, find a mentor who's associated to the category of students, influential, or the person who is in the who's expert in students communication process. Okay, do not go and follow someone who's really highly professional in terms of, because it will happen, a lot of gap will be there for you to bridge and you'll get confused. Let's understand with the employee perspective. Employees is basically they have a lot of problems related to speaking in a meeting. Okay, for example, you join an organization, okay, and you get into a meeting, and suddenly there are 4-5 people who come into, and there's a new conversation needs to strike, or probably something has to be done, and you were like blank, you don't know what to do about it. And probably in a meeting you have the same idea, you want to speak to the person or your boss the idea, but someone else who's really good in communication, who actually overcomes with this particular idea and takes the credit off, and you were like, oh my god, this is what I wanted to talk about, but you're not able to do that because the fear in you as well remains, which will stop you to actually communicate in the particular process in the meeting. Now, very important thing related to employee is the listening skill. Okay, because this is an art. Okay, when it comes to employee category, listening skills are very important, because if you are a good listener, then only you will be able to process the information what is given to you, because in an employee's life, everything is processed, everything is given to them, right? They have all the templates, they have all the procedural emails, they know what to do, and usually a lot of communication happens through an email, right? Writing communication. Now, this is also a very important part that an employee also has to understand, right? Now, there's a peer pressure. Writing skills are very important. Now, all this is different when it comes to students' life, right? Now, if you get a mentor who can solve your problem related to employee format, employee context, an expert who can really guide you in terms of, this will really help you. Because if an employee is seeking for a mentor, or he's learning from a domain which is not related to the employee or the peer pressure kind of thing, then again, a lot of confusion will happen. Same goes with self-employed. If you are in the self-employed category, that you have a business that you are running through, the number one skill required is a selling skill. Selling skill is the most important thing, because that's how the volume will be generated in your company. Yes or no? So if you're an entrepreneur and watching this particular video, negotiation skills, team building, collaborations, and motivating. Now, these are most important skills that you should always have. Yes, and it is a part of communication. The base is communication, because if you have a strong base of communication, you know what category you're falling into. Okay, all this can be learned step by step format. It can be really understood, because there are a lot of people who are really helping you out in terms of all this. Now, the intention for me to share this particular content is to help you. Let's understand in fact that which category you belong to and what kind of problems you share. Please type in the comment box that which category are you, a student, employee, or self-employed, and what kind of challenges do you really face when it comes to communication. So I'll be able to guide you in terms of that. And there will be a link in the description as well, wherein I've shared an ebook. Okay, you can just have to go, and it's a free ebook that you can download, and you can connect with me on my Facebook group. The links are already been shared, Communication Mastermind 2.0, which is a group associated only to help you to overcome this kind of problems. Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.